no matter what format. Like, I still have a cassette player, I have a reel-to-reel recorder, but hands down vinyl is like the best sounding. Obviously if you're a music lover, like every format of music is suitable for you if you want to listen to a song, but vinyl is the best sounding, right? It's the warmest sounding out of all mediums, and there's nothing like putting a record on a table and having that sound seep out of the needle into your room. It just sounds like they're actually in the room, whatever you're listening to. It sounds so vivid and so clear, and I think that's really special, especially when you're in the day and age that we live in like a digital society where it's like you can buy music on iTunes, and I'm not dissing that in any way, but it's awesome when you can actually like hold the music and appreciate the art and have the large artwork as well, and you can read the liner notes with bigger font as well, as opposed to like not really having the digital song, like it's there on your iPod or whatever it is that you have. But I mean, once maybe your iPod gets rebooted or something, it's gone and you have to like plug it in again. It's kind of like this invisible little ghost that exists on your electronic thing. It's got to be the sound quality. It's, like I said, like it's hands down like the best sounding out of all formats of music. That, and for me, cassette sound is amazing as well as analog sound. But also too, like, it's bigger album artwork, you know what I mean? Like, you have something bigger to look at. You can put it on your wall if you wanted to. Like I previously said as well, like you can read the liner notes more clear. You can see like who played the bass on this track and like who played the drums on that track. And the whole process of like putting it on the table as well, like it's like a ritual. Like you appreciate the work that goes into the album a lot more because you can hold it, you can hug it, you can stare at it on your wall, and it's not the same like with the CD. It's a lot more smaller and it just feels like it's quick. And I don't know, like if you're on a road trip, obviously you're gonna have CDs and your iPod, and unless you're like the Green Hornet or something, you're not gonna have a record player in your car, right? So, I mean, yeah. It keeps the community alive, and there's something special about going into your mom and pop shop. Like Kops Records is a family-owned joint. It's owned by a gentleman named Martin from England and his son, Nick. And it's important because, like I said, it's a community, so you have kids all around this area, adults, Much Music's right down the street. You have HMV down there as well. And HMV is a great store. They have books, they have DVDs, they have everything to like cater to your entertaining needs. But when it comes to like small owned record shops, like this one, it's 99% vinyl. Everyone in here has different knowledge and maybe similar interests in music. And it's just, you can't really go into like HMV or like a big store like that and bump elbows with the person beside you looking at a record and start talking about it, you know what I mean? Like, you can, but it just seems more cold and more corporate, I guess, like, because it's not just music in there, it's movies and posters and all this other stuff, so, yeah. I think it depends on what the album is. Like, nowadays, it's a great medium to have both the download code within it and the album itself on vinyl, because there are some people that don't have fancy turntables that they can plug into their computer and rip it onto their database. And we live in a day and age where it's like there's so many formats of music available that when you're going on that road trip and you have that record, you want to rip it onto your iPod, you want to rip it onto a CD. So it's great when you have those like digital download codes so that you can bring your favorite music with you anywhere you go. But at the same time, like for instance, like if it's like an old blues album, like, I don't want it on digital, I want it on vinyl, that's it. I don't need a digital download of it. There's no point of like erasing even more of what the song has survived from, like when it was on a 78. There's no point of putting on a digital download, things like that. But if you're a new band, yeah, put a digital download in there, because then you can spread the formats over and spread the love to everyone in the world. It takes the effort. It's a lot of effort. You gotta put your shoes on, gotta walk downtown, maybe go on a subway or a bus. Then you gotta open the door to Kops. Then you gotta actually like face up the courage to ask someone that works at Kops, can I sell my band's art to you guys? And then you gotta fill out this little tiny consignment form and sign it with a signature. It's a lot of work, and then that's it. It's pretty easy to get your stuff in at Kops. Like, we're a huge supporter of local music. We have a lot of bands that have dropped their stuff in. The most recent is My Man, 65 songs. They're on a 7-inch. And Matt is 17, and he comes to the shop pretty often on Saturdays, and once in a while he'll help us out filing records, and we'll give him like a few records in return. And yeah, he just came in the other day. He's like, I got my vinyl just pressed. Like, can I sell it? Of course. Fill out the sheet. Pff, done. Spread the word. It's an awareness. There's a bunch of kids growing up right now, and they're getting introduced to vinyl. So the fact that there's a record store day with all these like little treasures that are only available for record store day are available, so you have to go on this treasure hunt, and you kind of learn about your community, what's in your community. And it's really important because, I mean, you could just go to Sunrise and you can go to HMV, and they're great stores, but then along the walk-on trying to find that one vinyl on your list that's only out for record store day, you could bump into a shop like Kops or June or Rotate, like a bunch of records downtown Toronto. And it's great because it creates that awareness and that kind of comfort knowing that like there's a scene going on. Like, I'm not alone in this, and there's a lot of cool people that are out there that have similar interests or that are going to teach me, and I'm going to reciprocate that knowledge, and I'm going to teach them, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned a lot of things from customers and vice versa, just by talking to them. And on record store day, it's so busy, it's so awesome, and I love it so much. Some people think it's kind of like a gimmick, but I don't know, that's kind of like a negative thing to say because it's creating awareness. It's positive. It's got to be all positive. I mean, if you really don't want that limited copy of, like, I don't know, like a Black Keys single or whatever like that, then don't get it, but don't downplay it. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are like really wanting to get it because it's only available for that short amount of time. I think it's special. Kops' plans for Record Store Day are, we're going to open up early, probably at 9 o'clock. I'm going to bring some cupcakes. We're going to have coffee. We're going to have some other treats. It's going to be lots of dancing. We've tried our best to get all the favorites that people are kind of really after, like Tame Impala, the White Stripes, etc. We're going to be open until 9 o'clock at night, and it's just going to be a straight party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for See Emily play on a pink 7-inch. Sid Barrett's one of my favorites, so that's pretty exciting. And then also the Ambassadors reissue, the Ambassador being Jack White, of Elephant on like colored vinyl. I'm so excited about that. That's so awesome, in honor of like the 10-year anniversary. Also the lullabies, like the renditions of the White Stripes lullabies. That's really exciting. So those are probably my two favorite things. Oh, and of course the Tame Impala EP, because that's like $200 on eBay right now. So I just want it, and I want to listen to it. I'm gonna open it. I'm not gonna like leave it sealed. As soon as I get that, I'm opening it. It's going on the turntable, so that's exciting. Yeah. We have really, really big plans for North by Northeast as well, actually. So we're hosting a record show, and we did it last year, and it was awesome. We had full tables. It was at the King Hyatt Regency, like right down the street. And yeah, it was just such a success last year, and we had members from like Broken Social Scene, like Brendan Canning was spinning, and it's just such a great environment because you've got like the artists walking around, you know, they're gonna play a show in a few hours, but they're like looking for vinyl, like what can I find? And you've got people like me like working for Kops, but also at the record show, and then also like trying to see what I can find. But it was a pretty eclectic show because the best part, in my opinion, was we had the history of recorded music, which was really cool. We had an Edison player with like literally tubular wax cylinders. It was so cool. And then we had gramophones, we had hip pocket machine players, which are like these little tiny discs that people would bring to the beach. They're kind of like flexi discs almost. They're really, really tiny, and they didn't last that long because it was a kind of bizarre format of music, but still cool. But it's interesting because you could just see the evolution of music as well. So we're going to do that again. It's going to be bigger and it's going to be better this year. So that's exciting as well. So right after Record Store Day, it's going to be another party, pretty much.